Good morning. Welcome to Christy K Hikes. I leave for the Benton McKaye Trail in 2 days. I've got all of my gear ready and now I'm ready to start packing it up. This is how I do it. For my fanny pack, I have a little side pocket here, and that's where I will keep some snacks. I have some Tic Tacs, have some little energy chews. Those in there. I do have a little binder clip that I keep, so if I have some snacks that won't stay closed, I can clip those shut with that. And then on the opposite side, I have another little small pouch there. That's where I keep a Ziploc bag, and throughout the day when I'm snacking, I put my trash in here. That just keeps from having crumbs in my fanny pack, because usually I keep that in my tent at night. And then on the very front, there is a little pouch right here. I keep some eyeglass cleaners, a pack of Kleenex, some lip chapstick that has SPF, and then I also take some Carmex. And then there's another little pocket on the back side of that, and that's where I will put some snacks that I might want for the day. So I usually have 2 snacks a day, and so I'll put whatever it is that I want to just grab and snack on. I keep that in that pocket. And then there is another pocket here. It's a bigger pocket. That's where I keep my Anchor battery. I carry one in my backpack. I carry a smaller one in my fanny pack. And there's a little small pocket in there that holds that perfectly. I have my headlamp that I take, and I keep that in my fanny pack just so I can grab it really quick if it were to get dark before I get to camp, or if I start off in the morning and it might be a little bit dark and I need my headlamp, then I can just tuck it right back in. There's a small pocket in that big pocket that I can just tuck that away. And then I have my headphones. This year I have switched to using these headphones that will go over my ears. They also go, I can have them around my neck. When I use my AirPods, they seem to pop out of my ears and I lose those. There is another small pocket in this big one that I can tuck those away. This year I'm going to be using this little kind of like an iPod. I have my music on here. I have some books downloaded, and I'm going to try this out this year. Usually I have my phone where I'm listening to music or books on my phone, but I'm also taking pictures and videos and looking at my maps on my phone, and it just seemed like a lot for one thing, so I thought I would try this out. And that goes in that pocket. And there's still plenty of room if I needed to put something else in there. And then there is a very back pocket, very back, that sits right against my stomach. That's where I keep my little wallet with my license, my bank cards, my cash. I keep a pen, so if I need a pen. I also carry a little permanent marker. These have come in handy whenever, if I'm in town, if I'm staying at a hostel and I need to write my name on something, label it. That's been very handy. And I also take some electrolyte pills, tablet chews with me. I put those in there. I keep some ibuprofen. I put that in, and a small knife. That's everything that I carry in my fanny pack. Now we're ready to pack the backpack. So the first thing that I do is I get my quilt. I have my Enlightened equipment quilt, and in the foot box I am going to shove all of this stuff down in there. So I have a sleep bra and some panties. This is my camp and sleepwear. I have my sleeveless shirt, a pair of shorts, and I do carry a really light pair of pants, just sleep pants, just in case it's cold. And then I have a pair of sleep socks that I keep just for sleeping. I won't ever wear those. I have a camp pillow that I blow up, that in. Have a little pillowcase that I put over my pillow so it stays clean, and then when I get to town, I can just take it off, throw it in the wash. And then I have my Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. It's very thin. It could add a little warmth, but I really like it because it feels like a t-shirt, and it also keeps my bag cleaner, or my quilt a lot cleaner. And then when I get into town, I can also just throw that into the wash. So I have all of that shoved into the bottom of the foot box, and then I start pushing the entire quilt with the stuff in the foot box into this compression sack. All right, there we have it. So now we are ready to start putting everything into the backpack. So one of the first things I do start with is I do get things put into my side pockets first. And I know some people do that opposite, they put that on last, but for me, I like to get my pieces in because they're different shapes and different sizes, and it just seems like I can get the rest packed down a lot better. So we are going to start with one of my pockets over, which would be my right. And in that pocket, that's where I keep some sunscreen and my bug spray. Then I just zip up the pocket. And there's still room that I could put other things if I wanted to. And then on the other, there is a shorter pocket here. That is where I put my water filter. And I carry my Catadine Be Free. I love this. This is wonderful for just scooping up water on the go. If you just need a little bit of water, you don't have time to stop and do a lot of filtering. So I keep that in there as well. If I do fill up, I can drink right from the bottle, or I'll leave it filled up and it tucks right into that pocket alongside of my water filter. And then it would just kind of stick out. But otherwise, I tuck it down in there. That. And then I have that's like a little top pocket here. And then there's a space where there's this other pocket. This is where I will keep an extra water bottle. And this is designated as my dirty water bottle. I put a sticker on it so I know whenever I'm gathering water, this is where I have the dirty water, so I can filter that into into a bottle. So that's my clean. I can also carry two bottles. I could carry my clean water bottle, and then I can also have water in here. So that goes in this pocket. And then I do carry this little Nalgene. It's a 14 ounce. I use this in the morning time. I drink protein shake, and this is what I put in there, and that way I can shake it up. It's easy to clean. It's got the big open mouth, and I just carry that in here in that little side pocket. So that pushes in there. So that's that side. And then with this strap, I have a water bottle pocket here, and I will put a little, kind of like a little half pint or a little pint of this is where I put my electrolytes. So I keep that bottle separate. I don't put my protein drink in here. I will carry just plain water, but I keep this for my electrolytes, and I try not to use my other bottles for mixing electrolytes. I just keep those strictly for water. So I have that there. There's a little pocket that I usually, each day I put my electrolyte powders in there. I can carry an extra water bottle lid. I put that in there, and I just cinch that up, and it fits other things as well. So that is on that strap. The next thing that I put on that strap is my sweat towel, and I just put that on. It snaps right on. I love this thing. And when I get to town, I wash it. If I'm at camp and it's, I have access to water, I will wash it and then just wring it out. It dries really fast, so that way it's clean. I have that. All right, now we also I have some hand sanitizer that I keep. That way before I eat, I can just grab some of that. That's always handy. Try to keep my hands as clean as possible. So that's what is on that strap. I have that on there. All right, for this side, in this pocket, in this hip belt pocket, this is where I have a cork ball that I roll out my sore muscles. I have a tendency for plantar fasciitis. So every night in my tent, I make a habit of rolling my foot on that, and that has really helped. So I just tuck that in. I have my bug net, and I just roll that up. You can just get it small, and I stick it into a little snack baggie. Keeps it from getting snagged on things. Just zip that right up, press the air out of it, put that in that pocket. And then I do have a cooling towel that I use that I can dip in the water, spin it around, use that for when it's really hot. And then if it's wet, if I'm finished with it, I'll just tuck it into my backpack or, just kind of drape it, hang it on there so it can dry. But whenever it's completely dried out, just roll it up, stick it in that little pocket, and then there's still plenty of room that you could put other things in there. These pockets are pretty roomy. All right. So on this side of the backpack, there is a long pocket. And in that pocket, that's where I keep my clean water bottle. And I like this hose. I just got one of these bladder hoses, and it has the bite valve, and then it has the cap that goes on it. Just run it right down in there. I don't like to carry a bladder in my backpack. I have a hard time trying to reach around, and this has just been a lifesaver. I love this method. I got this off of Oregon Hikes, and I made it by following her directions. So I just tuck that in that pocket. I just run the hose. I've had this little bungee strap, and I just kind of run it through that just to hold that. And then I also will, I can kind of tuck it up through this little strap here. And it just holds it in. And then once I get my pack on, when I have my pack on, I just have this kind of going across the chest strap, and I tuck it in over here. That way I can just drink on the go. This is perfect. I love this. All right, in that long pocket, I also put my tent poles with my tent stakes. I flip them upside down. I put those there. A lot of times if I carry my umbrella will go in there, but I'm not taking my umbrella on this trip. So I have that there. There's plenty of room if I need to stick other things in there. If, you know, if I don't have my umbrella, I could put another bottle of water if I wanted, or there's just plenty of room to shove anything in there. All right, and then on this part of the strap, this is where I put my GPS. And whenever I carry it, it's kind of to my back. That way, on the back of my shoulder, that way it's not in my way, it's not bouncing around. And that really works out great. I like that method. So I have that there. So that's kind of, that'll be on the back. So I like to get all of those pieces on. I also carry a cooler cloth, and that just goes, that hooks here. I have another little carabiner. That way it can be hooked on and use that. You can have it open, I can leave it open in the day, and that way it dries out in the sun, or I can keep it snapped like that. All right, so I like to get all of those side pockets filled just because they push in odd ways in my backpack, and I have found that I'm able to get this stuff in there a lot better, and then it just pushes all the rest out. So that method works for me. I really like it. All right, so now we're going to be filling the inside, and the first thing I do is I do put a bag liner. I've used the real thin ones. Can't remember what those are called, but I've used those before. They are lighter weight, but I tend to get holes in them, and I think I'm just kind of rough. So I have been using these thicker. I've done trash bags. This is just a trash compactor bag. This works wonderful. I love this method. So I put that in. I've used bag liners or bag covers before, but that just doesn't always seem to always work. My backpack isn't waterproof or, you know, water resistant, and so that just seems to keep everything wet. So once I get my pack liner in, I shove my quilt. And this takes a little finagling to get that in. A lot of times I have to lay it down. And get that pushed in. And once I get it pushed in, I turn it sideways. I just maneuver it, work it, and get it sideways. I just press it. Pull on those straps. All right, I got it in there, and then I just make sure that I have my liner pulled up so it's not tucked in. And then I am ready to start filling my bag. I've got that pushed in. All right, so the next thing that I put in is my food bag. And I like to have my food bag because it is heavy, and I like to have that against my back. So I put that in. Push that down, get that shook down in there. It helps if you lay down the bag. So I have that in, and then what I usually do, because I'll be in my tent, and I lay my bag down so it will lay, I have it laying in perfectly flat against the back part of my backpack, and then I'm able to start pushing other things in. So the next thing that I put in is my mattress pad, and that's going to be at the bottom, sitting just right on top of the stuff sack, and kind of right in, like at the bottom front part of the food bag. There's a perfect little space that goes in. I just press it and get it pushed in there as tight as I can. All right. Then the next thing I start putting in is I have my personals bag, and that will kind of tuck into the side. There is a little space in there that I can put that to the side. I pulled up some. Push that in. And so that's just sitting kind of right here. You won't be able to see it, but that's where that's at. Then the next thing that I have is my electronics bag. And there's a little space over here that tucks right into. And then I've got my puffy, and I like to keep that in. So then I'm going to start pushing that in, and that's going to go into any little crevices that are left. Just start working it in there. You can feel, and I just keep pushing, and it'll go into the little holes if there's any little spaces. Just tucks right in. And then that's the last thing that I put inside of the liner bag. And then I just kind of pull it up, press it a little, and I twist this up, and I tuck it to the back. And there's a frame there that I just push that down against that metal frame. All right, then the next thing that I put on top of this is my tent. I keep my tent in this stuff sack that's waterproof. I'm not trying to keep my tent from getting wet. I'm trying to keep anything else that is in my backpack from getting wet with that particular stuff sack. And it works well. And then whenever I get to a place where I can dry my stuff out, I just take it out of the bag, hang it out and dry it. But this, I have loved this. This has kept anything in here from just getting wet. So I put that in, and this is sitting on top, but I have it at the back because this is lightweight, but it's just towards the back part of this. So just work it, get it fit in there. And then the last thing I have is my camp pot, my cook pot. And inside of here I have my BSR, the camp stove in there, my lighter, some extra matches, a little pot cleaner. And so I will just tuck that in up here. All right. Then there will be some space on top, and what I usually do is I keep a Ziploc for trash, and so I will throughout the day when I eat, if I'm eating snacks, I put those in the little trash bag that's in my fanny pack. But when I eat lunch or like at night after I eat dinner, any of my food trash I put in here, and I just have that at the very top of my backpack. That way, if I ever come across a trash can, or as soon as I get into town, I can dump this out or throw it away. So it's handy just to quickly open my backpack up and get that trash out. So I just put that in there. Then I'm ready to buckle this up. And I just start working, and I get this, and it helps when it's down on the ground because you can bend over and you can get it pushed and press down, compress down. there's that. And the last thing that I put in is going to be in this front mesh pocket. And in that's where I keep my hook kit. This is my poncho. This is my PACA system. I haven't used this year. I'm looking forward to using this when it rains. So I haven't used that yet, so I can't really speak on it. But what I have seen, I really like. I like that you can put your cover onto your backpack if it looks like it's going to rain, but you don't have to have the jacket part on until it does start raining. It's easy just to pull around. So I'm looking forward to that. I have a little camp towel. I use this towel for if I do water crossings and I need to dry my legs and feet off. I use this when I take my camp baths to dry off with. You can also use it as a washcloth, and it dries really fast. So just roll it up, and I have that in that front pocket. I also have my first aid kit that I'll keep in there. Sometimes there's a zippered pocket here on this top part. I can put that in there. I will use that. I'll put that in there, but I try to keep the first aid kit where I can get it. I don't want to just keep it in my backpack because a lot of times I need the Leuko tape in the middle of the day or a Band-Aid. I want this to be available. I also wear glasses, so if for some reason I broke my glasses, I have an extra pair in here, and I like to be able to get to those quickly if I need to. So on this trip, I'm not taking a rain jacket or rain pants. It's going to be hot and humid, and I'm just going to rely on my PACA system. But when I did hike the Colorado Trail, or when I just hike around in the fall or spring here locally, I do like to carry my rain pants and rain jacket. It's very nice to wear those whenever I go into town and do laundry. I have that to wear. I also like to wear them as an extra layer for when it's cold. They're great for if there's too many mosquitoes. I've wore that in camp for that. So but this hike, I think I'm going to do without. All right, and there is my backpack. It's all ready to go, and of course, I will also be taking my trekking poles.